You have done it 100 times. The egg goes in the pan, you give it a minute, you slide the turner under it, and it tears. The white grabs the iron and rips, the yolk breaks, and what should have been a clean, over-easy egg is a scrambled mess stuck to the bottom. And you stand there, and you think the same thing everyone thinks. This old cast iron is too much trouble. Maybe I should go back to the slick black pans, the ones that promise nothing ever sticks. I want to stop you right there, because you are about to throw away the best pan you will ever own for want of 3 things nobody taught you. My name is Emily, and I need to confess something right from the start. I am plain, old-order Amish. We are taught to keep to ourselves, to not broadcast our ways to the English world, to stay humble and quiet behind the veil of our ordnung. I'm not supposed to be doing this, speaking into a recorder, sharing our kitchen wisdom beyond our community. But I have watched too many good people throw away good iron, poisoned by factory coatings that wear out in a year. I have decided to break the restrictions, just this once, because this knowledge, the secret behind the very nature of iron and fire, belongs to everyone, not just those of us who grew up holding the handle. My family came over from the Palatinate in 1838, and we have farmed and cooked on this same Lancaster County ground ever since. The pan I am going to talk about today is older than I am. It hung in my grandmother's summer kitchen, and her mother's before that, and my mother Esther cooks on it most mornings now. It has never once seen a slick coating, never had a thing sprayed on it from a factory, and I will tell you plainly, it is more truly non-stick than any of those modern pans, with nothing in it but iron and good fat, baked in by years of use. No coating to scratch off into your food, no forever chemical that the makers themselves are quietly backing away from now. Just iron and fire and fat, the way God intended it. But it only behaves if you know its 3 secrets. Most folks get every one of them wrong, and then blame the pan. So, let me show you the way my mother showed me how to cook an egg over easy on bare cast iron, and have it slide around the pan like it is on ice. Let me start with the secret that matters most, the one 9 out of 10 people get backward. Because if you get this one wrong, nothing else will save you. The reason your food sticks is almost never the seasoning. It is the heat. And more exactly, it is that you put the food in before the pan was ready. Here is what my mother taught me at her stove, and I have never found it to fail. Cast iron is not like a thin steel pan that heats the instant you light the burner. Iron is heavy and slow. It takes its time coming up to temperature, and it holds that heat like a stone in the hearth once it gets there. That slowness is its whole gift, even heat that does not flinch. But it is also the thing people fight against. They put a cold pan on the fire, drop the butter in straight away, crack the egg in right behind it, and the pan is still cold in its bones. Cold iron grabs. It is the cold pan that sticks near every time. So the first secret is patience. You set your empty pan on a medium flame, and you leave it be. Nothing in it. No fat, no food, just the bare iron warming through, all the way through, not just the surface. Give it a few minutes. You will know it is ready when you hold your hand a span above it and feel the heat rising steady and even. And you may see the faintest wisp of steam or a thread of smoke lift off the dry iron. That is the pan telling you it is ready. Hot iron releases, cold iron grabs. That one thing, learned and trusted, fixes more stuck eggs than all the seasoning in the world. Now, and only now, the fat goes in. The pan is hot through. You drop in your butter or a spoon of lard, real natural fat from the land, and you watch it move. On a properly heated pan, that butter will not just sit there. It will slacken and run and spread thin and bright across the whole surface, hunting the low spots. You tip the pan a little and coat the bottom edge to edge. That sheet of hot fat on hot iron is the slick surface your egg is going to ride on. It is what the slick factory pans are pretending to be. You have made the real thing in 10 seconds with a knob of butter. Then the egg. And here is the second secret, and it is a secret of nerve more than of skill. Once that egg hits the pan, you leave it alone. You do not touch it, do not nudge it, do not go poking at it with the turner the second it lands. This is where the impatient cook ruins everything. He sees the egg, and he wants to be busy with it, and he slides the turner under before the egg is ready to let go, and of course it tears because he tore it. Let it be. Let it sit in that hot fat and take its first set. You will hear it, a steady, gentle simmering, the white turning from clear to solid. Give it that half a minute of faith, and then watch what happens. Take the pan by the handle and give it a small shake, a little jog forward and back. If you did the first two secrets right, that egg will slide. The whole egg, loose, gliding across the pan free as you please, not stuck in one spot. That is the iron telling you it has released. Now, and only now, you slip your turner under, and it goes under easy because the egg already let go on its own, and you flip it. A few seconds on the other side for over easy, yolk still whole and soft underneath, and you tip it out onto the plate clean. Nothing left behind. A pan you could near wipe with a dry cloth. That is bare cast iron, and there is no coating in the world does it better. Now, the third secret, and this is the one that decides whether the pan stays this way for the next meal or slowly turns on you. The cleaning. Because how you treat the pan after supper is how it treats you at breakfast. The old rule starts the moment the food comes out, while the pan is still warm. Warm iron lets go of anything clinging to it. Cold iron sets it like cement. So, you clean it warm, not cold, and certainly not after it has sat overnight. For a pan like the egg pan, where the food slid clean, there is near nothing to do. A wipe with a cloth or a bit of paper, and you are most of the way home. If something did stick, a bit of fried-on egg at the edge, you do not reach for a harsh scouring pad that would tear the seasoning off. The old answer is right there in the cupboard, a handful of coarse salt. You throw the salt in the warm pan and scrub it round with a wad of cloth or a folded rag, and the salt scours off the stuck bits without touching the baked-in seasoning underneath. Salt is the old scrubbing powder for iron, and it has never been bettered for the job. Now, water. People are frightened of water on cast iron, and they're half right. Water is not the enemy. Water left sitting is the enemy. You may give the pan a quick rinse under hot water to clear it. That is fine, so long as you understand the rule that comes next, and it is the rule everyone forgets. Any time water touches the iron, you must dry it at once, completely. Not set it in the rack to drip. Not leave it to air dry. Bare iron and standing water make rust, and rust is the one thing that truly wrecks a pan. So, you take your towel, and you wipe out every bit of moisture you can. And then, the step that separates a pan that lasts 100 years from one that rusts in a month, you set it back on the burner on a low flame for a minute or two, and you let the last hidden moisture steam away to nothing. The gentle warmth drives the water out of the very pores of the iron, and as the old folks knew, the warm iron opens just enough to take a fresh skim of oil. And that fresh oil is the last thing. While the pan is still warm and bone dry, you put in a few drops of oil, and I mean a few. This is where folks go wrong at the other end, drowning the pan in oil thinking more is better. It is not. Too much oil bakes down sticky and gummy and spotty, and now you have made a new problem. So, a few drops only. Take a cloth, an old one you do not mind staining, and rub that oil all over the cooking surface and a little up the sides. Then take a clean, dry corner of the cloth and wipe it back off again until the pan looks almost dry, just the barest sheen. You are not coating it, you are sealing it. A whisper of oil to keep the air and damp off the iron until next you cook. Then let it cool and hang it up, or leave it on the stove, ready for the morning. Now I will tell you who profits from your believing that cast iron is too much trouble. Not to rile you up, just so you see the shape of the thing, because once you see it, you cannot unsee it. There is no money in a pan that lasts 200 years. The pan my mother used, I will hand to my grandchildren, and not one company earns a cent on that. But there is a great deal of money in a pan that wears out. The slick black pans with the sprayed coating are sold to you as the easy answer. No seasoning, no fuss, nothing sticks. And then in a year or 2 or 3, the coating scratches and flakes and gives out, and into the bin it goes and you buy another. That is not a flaw in their plan. That is the plan. A pan that must be replaced is a pan that can be sold again. A pan that outlives you is sold exactly once. I am not telling you a man sat in a room and schemed to make your pan wear out. No one had to. It is worse than a conspiracy because it is a system nobody had to coordinate. It simply pays better to sell a pan that fails than to teach a man to keep one forever. The old people kept theirs forever because nobody was selling them the next one. They were closer to the land, to the nature of the materials God gave us, iron from the earth, fire from the wood, fat from the animals. They didn't need chemistry sets in factories. So there it is, the whole of it. The 3 secrets most folks get wrong. Heat the bare pan all the way through before any fat goes in, because hot iron releases and cold iron grabs. Let the food take its first set and slide on its own before you touch it. And clean it warm with salt, not harsh scouring. Dry it at once over the flame any time water touches it, and seal it with a whisper of oil, never a flood. Do those 3 things, and your bare cast iron will be slicker than anything the factory ever sold you, with nothing in it but iron and good fat, and it will still be cooking your grandchildren's eggs long after the slick pans have all gone to rust. I know I am breaking the rules of my people by telling you this. I am putting our plain kitchen ways out into the wide world, and I will answer for that. But I truly believe that knowing how to work with the nature of iron instead of fighting it is a gift that shouldn't be hidden away behind a fence. I hope you receive it in the spirit it is given. Now, I want to hear from you. Tell me, do you have an old cast iron pan handed down in your family? And how old is it? Who cooked on it before you? And tell me the one thing you always thought you were doing wrong, because I would wager it was the heat all along. Next time, if you will have me, and if I haven't been shunned for speaking out, I want to take the worst pan you can imagine. A rusty, neglected, crusted-over thing somebody left in a damp shed, the kind most folks would throw out. I want to show you how the old order brings a pan like that all the way back to life, because a rusted pan is not a ruined pan. And once you know how to season one back, you will never pass up a good iron pan at a sale again, no matter how rough it looks. A good pan is a thing you are meant to keep, not use up. My mother cooked 10,000 meals on the pan that hangs over my stove, and it asks for nothing but a little heat, a little patience, and a whisper of oil. The kitchen that feeds a family for generations is the kitchen that remembers how to keep its iron. The people who built this country with their hands knew that, and I am just an Amish woman, breaking the silence, praying this natural wisdom finds its way into good hands.